Welcome everybody. It's 12:08 on the clock, which is the hangman and the dance of manifestation, of inner and outer strength, of the dance with the masculine and the feminine to manifest dreams, see new perspectives. And I have pick one of three today, my 3-deck read with the Metatron deck, Nature's Whispers and Shaman Dreams. I have 3 of them from the past 3 days. So pick 1, 2, or 3 to see which one resonates most with you. And I would definitely stay tuned because there were some really profound messages in those channeled messages. I also have my 7-deck read, which I'll do last, on the table. And we're going to roll the die. We'll pull oracle cards at the end as well. And let's go ahead first and take a few deep breaths. Teddy's sending lots of love. Take another deep breath. One more deep breath. Try to hold it if you're comfortable with it. Go ahead. Lots of love and blessings out to everybody. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope you're having a beautiful day. It's kind of a hazy day here today, and it got really cool the past couple of days. So fall is definitely here. And let's go ahead and roll the die. Let me put the bowl down here. Today is the 25th of September, 2022. The 25 is the Knight of Wands. And the day then adds up to 34, 40. So 40 is the Page of Cups. So very innocent energy along with the Knight of Wands. I think they came up together in another one of the reads I'm bringing today as well. The Knight of Wands is very inspired to get moving, passionate about getting out there and getting something done or some passion. And then the Page of Cups is that very pure, innocent love of a child or a baby or a pet, that very sweet, loving message, puppy love even. And puppy love definitely came up yesterday and today. Okay, and quartz came up when I pulled cards earlier, along with moonstone's been coming up a lot too. So let's roll the die first and see what's coming up, and then I'll get into the messages of the day. The channeled messages, number 1, 2, and 3, and I'll show you the pictures as I do them. So you might want to pick one now. Let's roll the die. It's 12:12 on the clock for the Twin Flames, September 25th, 2022. We have Jupiter here, which also looks like the number 4. 4 has been very significant in these reads, and it relates to the 4 chambers of the heart, which I posted that picture on Instagram from the sun this morning. So please check those pictures out. It's under Twin Flames, 3344. I have the 1 of the Divine Masculine, of the Magician, which is Gemini, can be Virgo as well. But that very channeled, direct, more selfish energy, right? It's very channeled as opposed to seeing both sides of the situation. It's seeing one perspective, but very well. And then we have the Libra energy here of balance and sharing, truth and balance, of justice and alignment. So Jupiter is very benevolent and expansive, along with the 1 of the masculine and Libra energy of balance. So it's like the masculine learning to expand and balance as they go, as opposed to just expanding and, kind of falling off the wagon type of energy. Really learning how to stay balanced within that masculine energy. So Sag, Gemini, and Libra. And Gemini and Sag are on the same axis, so we're dealing with that axis today, as well as Gemini coming up, which Mercury's been coming up all week as well, and the messenger. And Mercury as well, as liquid silver, as the cord that we have that connects us to our higher self. Okay, so 3 reads we have today. And this is the first one, yes. All right, number 1. And again, they're all 3 the same deck. Okay, we have the underlying energies on the left for each read. We have a pile that I need to count at the end for each deck as well, for numbers, but I use the cards as well. And then the cards in the middle are the way they came out organically. Sometimes they'll come out one at a time like this, and sometimes they'll come out together, like down here. There's 2 together. And the top deck is Metatron, the middle deck is Nature's Whispers, bottom deck is Shaman Dreams. And I'm going to bring it up a little closer so you can see the pictures. Those are some really beautiful pictures there. Metatron, Nature's Whispers, and Shaman Dreams. All right, that's read number 1. All right, so this was done, the 3 reads were done the 22nd, 23rd, and 24th. This is from the 22nd. It was done 12:04 to 12:07 on that day, and that was significant for the 4 to 7, which is my sweet spot in numerology, just airing to the side of the light, so just a little bit more than 5, which is the middle of the numbers. And also 4 to 7 is the heart chakra to the crown chakra, so very much the sweet spot. And 4s were coming up very much this day. It was 9, 22, 22. 22 is a 4. 4 to 7 came up. And that day added up to 37, which is the King of Cups, and unconditional love, along with the 22 of the Fool, with an open heart taking a leap of faith. So the 3 piles I had to count came up to 13, 11, and 14 on this day. The transition through justice and alignment to the angelic realms. The dark night aligns with patient angel. Scorpio, Libra, and Sag also came up with those cards. The underlying energy of the 45 endings. 41 of being in service, and 43 of overflow. And I want to remind you too to check out my Instagram also, because I went outside this morning and the sun was very hazy and very cool. So check out the pictures. There's heart pictures. There's a feather I found yesterday from the bird that I was healing. He hit the window 3 times yesterday trying to get my attention, and then left me a little feather in the flower bucket outside. But yeah, the sun was really cool. It showed the 4 chambers of the heart, which comes up in the last message of the day, as well as a heart and twins in the womb. I mean, all this profound energy was coming up in the sun this morning. So check those pictures out. And the feather. And Mikey, not Mikey. Mikey's my Australian Shepherd I had when I was a kid, but Teddy always reminds me of Mikey. But Teddy... I took some pictures of them this morning, and they ended up being like a headshot profile, auditioning for all different kinds of parts. So check that out too. So with the 45 of endings, the 41 of being in service, and 43 of overflow, purging self-love, spiritual love, and new love, and coming together with so much, it's overwhelming. Where water then is overspilling, which was really weird, because after I wrote this, I realized that when I poured my pitcher this morning, I poured it too soon because I'd filled it up, but you can't pour out the filtered water when you've just filled up the top, because then the top water that's not filtered yet pours out as well. So that was coming up as the same kind of energy. Grieving through service and coming together in joy spills over to others, but it may be unfiltered. At 12:16, which is the hanging man in the tower, is Atlas with 44, the beacon, to be lighter, to light up as the waves beat the mountains and energize, gets the heart started. So play in the AM, and let's not use the morning energy of grieving right in the morning, because that's actually for after dinner, when we come together to purge on equal boundaries here. So in the morning, instead of using morning, we could say, good day or top of the day, which I was talking to the birds yesterday morning doing that. And remember that sunset isn't actually sunset, but moonrise, right? It's ignoring the energy of the moon. So sunrise in the morning, moonrise in the evening, which is then the time to grieve in the sunset, where your ancestors give you compassion, reflecting back at you in that sunset of those very pink and gold colors of compassion. So be lighter, light up the waves, get your heart started in the top of the day. Coming together is healing, and then pause to receive healing. In love, out fear. In joy, out pain. In peace, out chaos. With the shaman red root 55, which is the Ace of Swords, the truth, Excalibur, of safety, strength, and power, and the hand up, and how. So again, that's a showing of vulnerability, showing your hand, which is opening up your healing powers to others. It's like offering your trust to that person. So the shaman coming up here with making a peace treaty with self. In the hermit, taking action with big bird chariots of fire and ice. The 45 again of that endings card, in the endings of each day after you eat, like an open forum to set out your grievances for the day without judgment. Those are the rules of the table, so that everybody can say their piece, vent what they need to vent, and be accepted no matter what. You are held in the moonrise when the sun glows on the horizon line or arc. Coming together to heal, make peace, take action, and purge. So again, the sections of the day: healing, making peace, taking action, and purging. At 12:21 then, you meet and greet at sunrise with family for self-satisfaction. The 46, again, of the inner children, and who are you as your authentic self today? And there are all these cups coming up in a row, the 5, 9, 6, and Page of Cups to the Ace of Cups, the key to the sweet heart, and the evolution, the Ev, Olut, and then ION, which is connection, which Olut is beer or ale, but it also means stem. Also reminded me of the old malt, like the soda shop malt connection. The Ev, stem connection, where Ev, yes, it's my nickname, but it also means the house, the dynasty, the period, the century, the fire, also possibility, and year, water. The home stem connection, or lineage, equals evolution of the sweethearts, the holy grail, the big cup of love reflecting compassion. The Queen of Wands is to stretch and lunge, to connect and attune to that. The 11 of alignment, of truth and balance, the clarion call to listen and take note. To wake up to the path of the 14, which is coming up as the gold ray, 14D, of the Christ gold flame, the path of least resistance with auric rays. And notice auric is AU of gold. The golden ray keys is the aura. From Ascension Glossary then came up, the second light manifestation of the gold order are gold ray orders of seraphim, Ceres, avian, bird people. The ether lines are the solar rishi who incarnated in the 4th harmonic universe on the Lyra Vega through 10th universe Stargate. And I might have presented this on the last video, but that's okay because I'm doing the pick one. So this is number 1. Because of the tribal shield affiliation and genetic relationship to the 10th Stargate, an infiltrate of the Golden Eagle grid, many of the Gold Order appointed directly to rehabilitate and transit the draconian race lines and override their timelines that are related to NAA, the fallen or 10D lines for Vega, because the dragon moth lines, as well as the hybrid between Gold Order Seraphim and fallen Draco lines. So you can go to Ascension Glossary to read more about that. But that was just coming up, and of course it's an amazing site for lots of information, so if you're unfamiliar with it, please go to Ascension Glossary. The guardian host of Ascension, of the universal time matrix, the 12D Kundalini, and this is still from Ascension Glossary, and above 13, 14, 15, the threefold founder flame, or GSF triad, the Christos elders of the crystal star, Lyra, Sirius founders, the Holy Emerald Order, the Gold Order of the Ra Confederacy, and the Amethyst Order of Ancient Master Builders and Architects, stemming, notice the word that came up from the definition, Ev, from Master Christos Collective and Orifeme that protect law of one, ascending path to GSF, any being to be able to ascend evolve their consciousness and exist as God, sovereign and free. At 1251, the Hanging Man and the King of Swords. So in this read that came up was significant because the different rays coming up, but also 13, 14, and 15D of the triad of the Mother, Father, Christ, God energy, where she describes the golden ray sun of Christos as the 14D, which is 14 is also that higher love, that temperance card of the angels. And the universal Trinity flame manifested creation into our universal time matrix. Then I pulled 13 cards, which 13D for her is the blue mother flame, and then 15 being the magenta father. And I always get the blue Madonna as very dark blue Madonna, Mother Ray, 13D. The 10 of the new dawn of the sun, the 26 of the pink self-love and nature, the life bulb of the silver cord, connections to the sun, the Mercury coming up as liquid silver in direct connect, destined page of wands, rose lion's heart, and the Knight of Cups emerald green heart. So kind of representing here the physical heart and the high heart of the rose lion's heart of the mother and the Knight of Cups emerald heart, the womb heart connection of the Holy Grail and the Holy Emerald order of the threefold creation, the flower of life. So 10, 11, 12, so we go through 3D, 4D, 5D, which is the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then the higher octaves of 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, but that's as far as she went. But I was getting, in my reads that will come up in these three channelings, 16, 17, and 18, so stay tuned for that. So 10, 11, 12, which in numerology as well are the higher octaves of the 1 through 9 numbers, and then 13, 14, 15 of the Godhead triad. The higher octaves of planetary and God heart systems on the journey of the tree of life, perhaps a journaling, from elements, stones, plants, animals, as you progress and evolve to humans, whether in this system or other systems as other ETs. From the id to the I divine, from instant messaging to I am, with Metatron 27, Ace of Wands, inspired rainbow arc beneath Michael's wings, your breath and lungs beneath your wings, always open to breathe more deeply and increasing ability to hold more light. So they keep ingraining this over and over and over again. You must do regular deep breathing. This opens your body up to be able to hold more light as the big wave of light comes in. You'll be able to do much better during that time if you do all this deep breathing every day, as well as lots of grounding stuff like stones and nature. Again, meditation and salt baths, all of the things that ground you normally are so important now. You might want to bring some plants inside and put your stones around you. With indigo, the 21 of completing the cycle of the world, with the indigo blue of the mother, the whole in connection with the double diamond star, Sirius and Betelgeuse coming up as two different kinds of couples, and the positive ancestral support, which is Procyon. The winter triangle equals win-ter, ter means river or bull, or the direction of Taurus, or Taurus, as it's in the North Node right now, or devastating win-win at all cost, to possess, tar and feather, 3 or 3 times to seal, and there's that energy of Betelgeuse, Betelgeuse, Betelgeuse. To sweat, perhaps an aunt or uncle to win, where win is to trouble oneself, resist, oppose, fight, contradict, struggle, rage, and endure. For with a win comes a loss. For the toroidal field to be off balance, polarized, win-loss, as opposed to fun and games. The 37 of the King of Cups, to detach from drama and look up. Don't be a sore loser or an arrogant winner. Just have fun instead. With the Kundalini 35 of the wounded warrior, releasing that wounded warrior victim mentality with help from your signs and synchronicities from spirit with love, the 10 of Cups of the 50 of the emotional family via the number 33, Christ invitation to that unity grid to the Golden Gate, number 66 of the Queen of Pentacles, the double spiral of the Mother's Heart, and also the Queen of Pentacles and the two spirals and the GG. So GG is 66. They all mean the same thing. It's all about the Divine Feminine, 33 of the Christ Masculine, and the twin flame double diamond, golden sun. Twinkle, twinkle is twin key, little star. And here I'm getting letter star. Untying the knots and retying a bow, which capital B is the 13 of transition, and then the OW of going from the human embodiment of source to two U's. O, bow. The human ark. No ahs about it. The Holy Grail womb, heart pink to emerald, holy emerald order through the gold ancient one. At 115, which is the one of the magician, the 15 of that third part of the God triad of 13, 14, 15, and then the card 16 came up, which is the subtle projection of light up of replenishment. So sudden is not so subtle actually with the 16. It's that sudden projection of light up of replenishment. The origins of the beginning. So again, they're taking you to the explosion, the Big Bang with the 16. So then it was 116 when I turned the page, and that is the magician and that Big Bang of the tower, the explosion, from 15 of the Godhead to and that's the Father energy of magenta, to the 16 of the tower, where the ancient ones, new dawn, 16 and then to 10, which is destiny, that high vibe destiny, equals 16 plus 10 is 26, which is the Page of Wands, that lion's heart. Or the 40, which came up just prior to this, of the sweethearts. The pink and the emerald. The PE, or phys ed, which is the extra dimensional, in physicality. At 118 then, which you notice we skipped the 17, we go from the 16 to the 18 at 118, the magician and the moon, which comes up as the purple moon, the 0 point, which 18 is coming up as 144 to the next octave, where the 44 becomes the 8 instead of the lap dance, becomes the do-si-do, dancing upright, back and forth like the 8. In a perpetual closed circuit though. But 44 comes up very significantly today as the chambers of the heart, which will come up a little bit later. The 43 of the Three of Cups, and coming together right now over me, the bird meets the human, with the 17 coming up here of infinite blessings, and the 16 of sudden inner truths, or the 16 to 17 to 18 of the sudden star of Bethlehem, the house of God, L'chaim, to life. The supernova equals the new star is born. The explosion of blessings and inner truths. The 37 of the ideal course of action of unconditional love, which Spirit keeps connecting very strongly right now. As the city or the castle is magnetized to the countryside of the tracks, like the Mason line, the Mason-Dixon line, which came up the other day, or vice versa. The 41 of being in service to the little ones, to the seahorses. The seahorse comes up as Pegasus, but also Donnie and Marie were coming up here with a little bit country and a little bit rock and roll of the Rolling Stone, as she feeds the birds and the seahorses. Pegasus, PE, or physical exercise, but also phys ed, which is the physical extra dimensional. Notice Pegasus is PE of the extra dimensional, gas us. Photonics, so it's the gas also in US, so PE is also pico, gas and us or US, but also representing the masculine of exercise and gas. The photonics energy, the high blue frequency, high energy, the longer wave is the lower energy. And in this chart is the red, whereas the high vibe is the blue. The photonic energy from solar irradiation. From photonics.com, the header was just light matters, 03.2018 or March 2018, Weird and Strange, Quantum Photonics, MIT Dr. Dirk England study, Diamond and Silicon Photonics. The first article was titled Light Paired Nanomotors. I'm not sure what that second word is. Sorry about that. I don't know what I wrote. But that was from photonics.com. Nanomotors perform as ultra-small energy converters in this Texas article, 7/21/22. Optical nanomotor use light power at nanoscale. The nanomotor rotates on solid substrate when illuminated with light due to incorporation of a thin layer of phase change or charge material on the substrate. The film changes from solid to quasi-liquid, just like liquid silver of the mercury, with light and drives the rotation. So there's that energy of the atlas sitting on the spike of the axis. So again, without the support, right, the head falls. At 134 is the Magician and the 34 of the energetic exchange, the arrows of love. And the first card out here was the 25, which the date is today, of the Knight of Wands, to keep your dreams alive, with the blue baby blowing a kiss from beyond. The 34 of vulnerability, of the energetic exchange, of the pink little girl floating on a dry leaf down the flowing river away from the 9 candles of the wounded warrior victim mentality. The Knight of Wands in energetic exchange with the 2 Divine Feminine High Priestess, and illumination of the butterfly transformation as the daughter gains independence, to the purple moon with guidance. The 15 of the 15D Father, when ungrounded or dealing with the shadow, hug a tree, the father lineage. At 138, which is the Magician and the Queen of Cups, of the 11 of Justice, Truth, and Balance. There are 11 cards here. Justice and Alignment and Vision of the 3811, and the 1 of Making a Wish, Blowing a Kiss, from the Emerald to Gold, number 33. Be gentle with self, with magic and stand-up. So very much the Magician and the Comedian were coming up here and performing. And the 27 of the Ace of Wands inspire that childlike spirit to swing on the tree, even in the wintertime. The 50 of Emotional Fulfillment, of the family's potential gateway, the place where the dogs and horses play, and the family lounges. The 23 of the King of Wands, that you are worth it, King of Wands, the 7 candles of the little chariot, and the true love of the 18, the purple moon, and with new experiences and possibilities. The bouquet of the heart healer on the horse, with butterfly on the round table, with windows to the world and homes. In the 8 dance of the breakthrough. At 144, the 8 dance, 144 to the 1-8, for the child with an open heart to leap of faith into the rough ocean waters with their heart open wide, where butterflies are free to fly, fly away, bye-bye. So again, a lot of the daughter's independence is becoming up as the Mother Earth. Her core is the heart womb of the daughter, which then when they gain their independence is where the moon splits, because she goes to the moon as an independent individual. As the fairy girl touches base, first at the trunk of the tree at 145, pause to reflect the Emperor and stability of the Father. The 22-4 of the Fool and the Fool's Journey, with an open heart and leap of faith. But before the leap of faith, on the invisible tightrope, net and horn, where the horse is actually the unicorn, the 31 is the chaos of being spontaneous, to reach out and touch someone, phone home, or bring flowers closer to the tree. The 46 of the soulmates, the loving spirits in gratitude and appreciation. A little girl and her unicorn, which may look to the 3D people as a little girl and her horsey. A rainbow she also has all the way around the sun. At 147 is the Magician and the 4-7 energy again of the 7 of Cups, which is synchronicities and heaven in your eyes and having lots of choices, which can be confusing at times if you let it be. but it's also, I was just getting Mother Mary, let it be. The 4 to 7 is also that energy of the heart chakra to the crown. Speaking words of wisdom, let it be. So again, she really wants to get that message across. The 15 of the dust devil, kicking up some dirt with the Knight of Cups, 39, in me talks of the Knight of Cups. The 49 of getting their wish, in skywriting the fates, getting wishes with Sophia, KY, which is sky, which check out my Instagram pics because the S came up with the carpenter bee above it watching out for them, the Christ and the Sophia. The sky is SKY, the Sophia's KY, the Sophia's energy at the Y in the road, the 0 point, the quantum energy at 0 point, the photonic light of the 5 of freedom, change, and completion, and closing the door of the 43, the 3 of Cups, of the overflow of overwhelm and plenty, to grab for your grounding supplies. So again, very important to ground, and bring some stuff in the house for the winter so that you're well grounded for the light, the photon light that's coming in. The plants, crystals, breathing deeply, salt, trees, and meditation, the overflow of emotion in gratitude for all, as the light, will really light up your heart, but it will knock you off balance because you're not used to that much light. And then a jet went passing over, where I wrote down jet stream because it really felt like that jet stream, that 152 of the Magician and the Queen of Swords, the Lady of Light. So the 6 then came up of the cosmic womb of the Divine Feminine, the 17 of the star and dreams coming true, the eye of the needle with the ellipses, to peak, star. So again, the cross of the star, like twinkle, twinkle, little star, is coming up as the ellipsis, but all the way where you can only see the line, right? You can't see the circle anymore. You only see the line. Those are coming up as the horizontal and vertical pillars here of the star. Only seen, it's kind of like the eclipse, right? When you don't see the circle anymore because it's just turned to the side. It disappears. Only seen on vertical and horizontal axes as Atlas shines, the double-eyed needle of the twin flame quantum energy push and pull of the star from love of the Divine Feminine's cosmic womb. The 62 of the will of the wisp, and there comes up the will of ego, of the wisp, and then Wisconsin came up with Willow, Wisconsin, but also again the will, the prison of will, and the treasures hidden in the shadows for release. And again, that's my saying I post below my video on YouTube, is about the will, right? We have the right to use our will, but we also have the right to will ourselves right out of, our blessings. So the Willow, Wisconsin came up in Richland County, DNR-Wisconsin.gov, camping at Willow Flowage. It's a very unbuilt location. There's apparently a lot of waterfront energy there with the lake or river, whatever it is right there. 57 is the 3 of Swords of the unmarked trail in the maze or the labyrinth under pressure. That energy of getting screwed, right? And then CERN's coming up again, but the natural CERN, right, of nature under pressure, like the coal under pressure to become the diamond. The separation in the 16 of the empty well, and then suddenly that time where you're really thirsty is that 16 energy that's coming up here, with time to replenish, to fill the well. The 59 of the wailing tree, that inner war of reconciliations, where nature's under pressure, crying for attention in the falling leaves. The 50 of the 10 of Cups and the spirit of the river, open with movement to adventure as the geese were flying south at 2:05, the High Priestess and the Hierophant, which is the High Priest and Priestess, with the 3 of the Mother Earth, the Empress or Abundance, in reunion, the benefactors of grace and generosity. And there's that GG of the spiraling heart, and the 66 of the Queen of Pentacles. The benefactors of grace and generosity, the king and their consort in the mushroom enjoying the show. At 2:07 then was the crow speaking out. A lot of the birds were talking up here. The 2 and the 7 of the High Priestess, Divine Feminine, and the 7 of the Chariot, which is the feminine within the masculine, ascending, with 14 cards coming up here. So again, the Christ Golden Flame coming up here, the Gold Ray, The Temperance card of the angels of patience and balance, taking one step at a time off that beaten path. The 31 in hand is the heart. The universe is the partner. The gold heart in the divine masculine's hand requires special handling. The one of the tidy house, the tree house by the tide, the divine masculine magician, 1, and the 54 of the page of swords, mercurial crossing, sharing 1/2 of the tree to initiate at 209, the high priestess divine feminine, and the 9 of the hermit, the 1 in the all. And then 210 of the crow again, with the galactic mushroom, the 24 of the Queen of Wands Omega, the nut and the tree, crowning, but I was also getting crowing at the enlightenment of Wilson, the soccer ball, the sock her ball. The galactic mushroom has more protection than the regular mushroom in 3D. The 2 vine matrix or divine matrix is the 2 vine matrix or mother's trill or number 9 of the hermit, the 1 in the all. The high vibe within with the 7 of the chariot and the sacred covenant unwritten, the 38 of the Queen of Cups of the Mary Magdalene energy with the many masks of authentic self, the 40 of the Page of Cups sweetheart with the vision telepathic, and the 4 of the caterpillar opportunity of the emperor or that father or godhead even, the 41 of the moon maiden's love to support new beginnings, and the 44 of the perfect storm, the raven peacock eagle vortex, and the courage to step into life, the lookout tower, the masters of the merge, the independent daughters held at bay, and the 21 of the world complete, the world's first breath of the beginner's mind in energetic exchange with the king of the hill and the lay of the land, and crop circles, just like wisdom. I'm getting Windsor too, though. The lay of the land and the crop circles, just as Windsor as well. I'm getting Windsor now, but I don't think that's what I wrote. And then Uluru comes up as well. So again, the world complete, the world's first breath, is the beginner's mind in energetic exchange with arrows of love with the king of the hill who has the lay of the land and the crop circles. Again, Windsor is what I'm getting there, and Uluru. The 64 of the 10 of swords of the woodwives who adapt, half human, half tree, more bendable. So again, here's about becoming more of a mutt, right? Interbreeding between cultures and races, which makes your DNA stronger. Half human and half tree, which then makes the divine feminine more bendable to bend around the masculine tree in the middle, the trunk. More bendable, leaving space between, not so fixed at the main trunk as the 28 twin flames, moose and hollow bone, humbled, teachable, pliable, willing to learn. And instead of saying hello, we're saying hollow, where hollow with the 2 U's, the W's the 2 U's, hollow is 2 U's, and bone equals the B, capital B is 13 of transition, and then 1, the transition to 1, 2 as 1, hollow bone, the hollow bone card. And then it ended there at 221 and then finished at 222, which is room 222, the guidance counselor show, but also the 2 of the divine feminine, the 22 of the fool's journey with an open heart and a leap of faith, and the 222 of just love, family, community, and the lovers, whole and complete. Now with the upgraded divine feminine, right, where it was out of balance before, where the feminine energy had been pushed down for thousands of years, now is coming back into balance again. So now that was number 1. So now we're going to go into number 2. All right, this is number 2, and this was done on the 23rd. All right, so here's number 2. So those of you who picked number 2, this is your read. Again, same order, same decks, all that kind of stuff. And I'm going to bring them up closer so you can see them. The top is the Metatron deck. The middle is then the Nature's Whispers. And the bottom, Shaman Dreams. Okay, for those of you who picked number 2, this was done on the 23rd, which was the number 28 day. So it was the 23 of the King of Wands and the 28 of the Twin Flames. And the time it was done was 8:37 to 41. So we had all the cups there, 37, 38, 39, 40, and 41, which is the King of Cups through the Ace of Cups. So the King, the Queen, the Knight, the Page, and the Ace. The underlying energy, the 3 piles that came up were numbers 7, 2, and 5. And it was reminding me of silver, 925, but 725. And now they're bringing me the quicksilver. Very interesting, of the Mercury for some reason, 725. And then 3-2 was also coming up, 723 and 725. 7-2, 32/5 were all coming up from these numbers, 7, 2, and 5. The 5 pile was broken up into 3 and 2 of the journey. The Chariot, High Priestess, and Hierophant, so the High Priest and the High Priestess, in the Chariot on the High Priestess's journey to the Hierophant. With the 4 of Pentacles, freedom, and 4 of Pentacles, freedom, both of them, become the 8 Pentacles of bliss. The 44/8 dance into oneness. The 144 to the 18 of Chai and the purple moon. Of the 10 in the Hebrew alphabet, 10 and letters 8 are the 18 of Chai. Also was coming up the 9 to the 18 of the Hermit, the 1 and the All, to the 18 of the 0 point, purple moon. And the 16, 17, 18 being the sudden event of the Tower, or the supernova, or the star is born, through the 0 point field, jumping through hoops to get there. And by the way, one of the pictures I saw this morning of the sun looked like the Divine Feminine crawling through a vortex, which is funny. I don't think I posted that one, though. At 8:47, which is the dance of the 47, again, the 4 to 7, the heart to the crown, and the sweet spot, the Archangel Sandalphon, number 22, with the number 6 of the big picture, and the 18, so here again, 618 came up again, as the eyes of the eagle, and Michael Sala came up because he has eagle eyes, and the Fool's Journey to Love via the 0 point purple moon. And again, 618 coming up in June, the purple moon in June, and spooning and all that. And 618 is Paul McCartney's birthday. He's 80 and he's vegetarian, and wings. And Linda and him came through in the card the other day. The 55 of the truth, of the Red Root Shaman's truth, of safety, strength, and power in numbers. Peace pipes and TP, and how. We all know about TP now, right? Showering in the diamond light for clarity on the shadow, with 30 of the home and union, and the silver cords of the warriors of light. The Mercury of the liquid silver, to the purple paper moon. The messenger of the sword and stone, the horse and hound, and the writer, the journalist, which then comes up, of course, Notting Hill with Hugh Grant, and she. Notting Hill, and notice Notting Hill is about the knots and untying the knots. She, knots, and also that she is he in she, with Julia and Hugh, and Elvis Costello, and then Anne Scott and William Thacker. Notting Hill Carnival came up in the headlines, where one was killed, was actually stabbed, I believe, a 21-year-old, 1 dead and 209 arrested on August 30th, 2022 in Notting Hill. She may be the face I can't forget, a trace of pleasure or regret, may be the treasure or price I have to pay. She may be the song that never sings, that summer sings, may be the chill that autumn brings, may be 100 different things within a measure of a day. The meaning of my life is she, oh she. Hugh Grant is, by the way, distantly related, very distantly, to QE2 out of the 1700s, who was being reported here in the news as having cried at Emma, the Queen's horse, attending her funeral. And then Horse and Hound coming up from the movie as well. 30 of the House and Union, his silver cord to the House of Windsor. That was very interesting also coming up. 13 of Transition, with the air that you breathe. Fly free where two roofs or houses, right? So that like Windsor and another house meet where families greet. The 7 of Water for emotional well-being, which is, again, the capital B is 13, which is Transition. The October birds and Icosa dolphins. Ophiuchus and Cancer coming up, or transiting via the Chariot, and air being the transition from water or liquid to gas and to ass, which is coming up as AAS, Archangel Sandalphon, Saint Dolphin. Archangel Sandalphon, who's with you now. The hand and how of the diamond, the 2 almonds, the 2 all worlds, the sword, the bird, the dolphin, and the angel. From shaman to angel, making the peace sign, shower, speak, fly, and swim. And play music in the end. A dolphin grew wings, Saint Dolphin, just because Icosa, I matter, he says, at 9:17, which is the Hermit and the Star. At 8:08, of course, that's the 2 twins dancing within their own masculine and feminine with the 0 and space between, taking a load off. Spending or perhaps losing money, announcing or in a wake-up to lover and affection. Sudden events and 9/11 Twin Towers and the waking of the dead. Unable to express arrows of love. Blocking, rejecting, the King of Wands and the King of Swords, of the powerlessness of the loss of a child or pet or abuse called out, with the King of Wands upright and the King of Swords upright, who are forced to now look at it. The King of Wands is anyway, but the King of Swords may be refusing to look, or the Page of Cups reversed judgmental, and the King of Wands affectionate, and the King of Swords cold as hell, with Aquarius, Gemini, and Scorpio upright, and Aries. So this is actually going into another read that I did, so it's not part of the second read. So I'm going to stop right there. But I guess that message was, that information was meant for you, okay? Oh, I'm sorry, I just went to the wrong page. Sorry about that. All right, so going on with your read. At 9:18, which is my birthday, by the way, the first card out here was the 52 of the Queen of Swords. The big bird. The priority is wings. Paul and wings. The dolphin and wings. The Queen of Swords with wings, supported by the rainbow triangle, the thymus to the hips, or the thighs to rose hips. Thigh muse. The TP of the womb. The upside down cone. The wind beneath the wings, the lungs to breathe with. As the lungs expand, the heart expands wings. So sing. As Teddy's trying to get his toys through my chair to me. He knows he's not supposed to come in while I'm doing my video. Sorry, this is blurry. The Queen of Swords, big bird, which was interesting because in the movie, both Elvis Costello is coming up, as well as Anne in the movie, which I know someone with both of those names, but also she's very tall in Cancer, like Princess Di. So Princess Di was coming up here, and Elvis Costello, Elvis and Priscilla as well, and Abbott and Costello. The journey of the Queen of Swords to communicate, to speak and be heard, popping the cork, to bring message in a bottle, with a mouthpiece, P-E-A-C-E, piece of freedom, rings, wings. The 39 of the Knight of Cups, Emerald Order of Heart Healing, with the 6 of Love and the Aqua Rose Gold Mother's Heart. Being love and is love. The 31 of Transformation of Light and Dark, receiving the light to see the dark. A shadow pack saved for later, keeping the shadow under control. Light in chaos. Remember, light too is the flame's height. 18 is the Mother Earth's 0 point field of grounding and support, is her core, her womb heart, the daughter or daughter, which is the twin towers of the doer to ache and reason, the offender who executes and performs. The twin towers to ache, do, offend, perform, way over there, far away, to cause heart pain, take pity, to divide and to come. At 9:33, which is the Hermit and the Christ vibration. The Mother Earth and Metatron's cube, ice cube it, as the ground gets cold, brr, which it all of a sudden did the other day. The Queen of Cups 38 and the light body turns on, feeding the Knight of Cups, Emerald Heart, the Queen of Cups and the Knight of Cups, the Divine Feminine feeding the Divine Masculine's Emerald Heart, while sitting beside the Aqua Rose Gold Mother's Heart, or harmonization of the high heart. The 7 cards there then came up of the Chariot, the riot of life, as the 4 Emperor lets go in the fall, where it's time to release. The 47 of the Synchronicities, or the heart to the crown, the blessings and thanks of Thanksgiving every day. 4 to 7, heart to crown. The 22 of the 2 of Cups, to go with the flow on the whispering bench on the salt river. And the Divine Feminine comes up as the salt river, and the masculine is the fresh river. The 20 of the cosmos in the dodeca that's mirroring you. Do a decade or two archiving or aching in separation, with hexes and pent-up frustrations of the 44 beacon, with waves beating against them to trigger their light to be lighter and light up. One big wave against 44 Atlas and the 9 of the Hermit, hermiting, and thus pressure then building to explode from within and light up. The 10 of the New Dawn in the Sun Valley, without the shadow or death, just golden rays reaching out to pink rays of compassion within the womb of the 26th Page of Wands, Lion's Heart. The Magdalena, scalloped Magdalena, phased arrays of the daughter, the twin towers to ache or perform in overlapping, intertwined rays of spirals linking together in the rose heart, the sweet heart. The sweet is the sine wave of 2 U's, 2 eggs cracked open at the supernova. The lion is the right at the angle connection. So it's the right angle connection, but also at the right angle connection, or the right angel connection. At 9:48 is the longitudinal interference causing direction in the toroidal field, revving up the toys, and then setting it down. So you know those little rev up toys where you go vroom, 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 you speed them up and then you put them down on the ground so they go? It's that same energy. The longitudinal interference causing direction in the toroidal field, revving up the toys and then setting it down to see where it goes based on the direction you caused the thorn in your side or their side, the trigger to get you to change direction and go within instead. The ouch, quote unquote, causes you to look at your body from within instead of staying outside of yourself. It brings you back into yourself because you feel the pain. At 9:51 is the Hermit and the King of Swords, where the underlying energy is the 4 of the Emperor's Paws. As the little fairy girl grounds at the trunk of the tree, and the 30 of the Home and Union before adventure in bridging, remote viewing, and hanging out above the fray, or the drama. And then Andromeda, wondering where Pegasus is, or Beetlejuice and his left hand Bella. Mountain to mountain, shoulder to shoulder, Andromeda to Pegasus, catching a ride as the ship sails. The 43 of the Three of Cups and love matters, staying in touch, home and union of coming together, with the 17 of infinite blessings as the star shines, or traveling to bring back blessings, or winter vacation perhaps. With the 15 and catching your breath by hugging a tree for grounding as the nuts don't fall far from the tree. The 21 of the world and the fresh approach to complete and be whole, the mother-daughter or daughter connection, or doter, one who dotes, all about love, the big picture, healing the root to flower the crown. At 10:01 of destiny and the magician, or magician embodiment. So the first card out of this deck is the 36 of Atlas and the weight of the world and their intuition, the twin towers of the you and I connection, with brain on fire as the crown flowers atop Atlas and Axis, and the 45 of purging to empower, moving to a peaceful place. The 19 to shift your energy as the ship that carries the weight of the world on you, hovering or traveling to heighten your vitality. The 49 to get your wish with happiness alone, finding self-satisfaction. When then two cards came up only, the 28 of the bountiful harvest and the 16 of the inner truths, as the twins set the stage for the inner world to suddenly come out. The twin flame supernova, the double diamond star, the twin epiphanies, the sexual exchange. At 10:07 of destiny and the 7 of the chariot, and the horseman, number 30 of home and union, heralding in the change, the delta. The 33 of the joyful muse of inspiration, standing up to and or for the 52 of the Queen of Swords, straddling worlds, for the Queen of Wands, 24, Omega and galactic mushroom. The divine matrix, or the Ma Trixie, or Bellatrix, for two vine, Beetlejuice Bellatrix connection, the Ma Trix, or Trixie, or Bella's Trix in transition, of the dream thief and flying monkeys, and their interference triggering you to refuse the call. Of the 18, eyes of the eagle rising above the fray, and rising above the flying monkeys as well, trying to get in your way. At 10:11, which is the high vibe, destiny, of the 11 of justice, truth and balance and alignment, the open-eyed oracle at the eagle's nest, above all to see the lay of the land. So again, that's Michael Sala coming up again. The 63 of the suffering and silence in the winter's dream, the gestation period of arcing or performing. And aching as well coming up here, right? Because you're in the pregnancy period of the winter. Or performing, 45, the repairing of the veil, forgiveness, purging and tying the pages back together again. And that can represent the pages as in the Page of Cups and the Page of Wands, which is coming up as the Lion's Heart and the Sweetheart. The 57 of the unmarked trail and revelations of the nature's labyrinth. I was trying to say labyrinth. Labyrinth? Now I'm getting, tell the rabble to be quiet. They anticipate a riot. This common crowd is much too loud. So that's coming up from Jesus Christ Superstar in the market scene. Tell the fools who sing their songs that they are fools and they are wrong. They are accursed. They should disperse. So again, this is the energy of, you discerning what should be in your energy and what shouldn't be in your energy, and not listening to other people telling you what to do. The 53 of the stranger's curiosity of the Knight of Swords, about diving in. And the 5 cards here of the Hierophant of freedom and change, and expansion of the 58 of vanishing mirror and smashing the ego sublimation within. The 62 prison of the will-o'-the-wisp, the coming out with treasures found deep within you from being imprisoned. The 4 of Swords 5D connection, causing a prison, right, because it's a sealed connection. The longer you can stay in it, the bigger the gift when you come out. Like the power numbers in numerology, 11, 22, 33, and 44. They require twice as much from you, but they give you twice as much in return. The 56 of the Two of Swords, knowing all the world's a stage, and learning to find happiness within, no matter what others think or project at you. The 9 of the Hermit and the green moth in the balancing act, the tipping of the scales, just a pinch and a squeeze and a tropical breeze. Inside the tree, knowing just outside, is the tiny dancer, lost in space, needing your directions. Atlas. At last my love has come along. At 10:19, the 10 of destiny, the 19 of the sun, is the smashing of discernment. All right, that's read number 2. Now we have read number 3. So if you pick number 3, this is your read coming up now. And here is the pictures as Teddy's playing with his bones and making lots of noise because he wants my attention. So again, the same setup, the same decks, only a new read. This is read number 3. So close up, the top is Metatron, the middle is Nature's Whispers, and then the bottom is Shaman Dreams. So this was done yesterday at 8:22 a.m. So listen closely, very significant here. Very profound messages were coming through here. The 3 piles came up 12, 6, and 12, which is 2 hanging men and the lovers between. But also the second 12 pile came up as 2, 2, and 8, which the 22 is also 4. The wisdom of the hanging man and the lovers, and the wisdom of another hanging man. And also the 12 and 12, with the 6 between, was coming up as the heart, which is HEA, and the RT. Hey, Teddy? Teddy? Can you play with something else, honey? Because your bone is very noisy. Thank you. Stay there. No, don't come in. No. Stop. But don't make noise with the bone, okay? Thank you. Thank you, sweetheart. You're so cute. Okay. So new perspectives around love, family, and community. The 12, 6, 12 is coming up as the heart with HEA and then RT, which is the root or the path. To kill time and hang around. HEA is also here, which is also coming up as heal, like a dog heals, paralleling with healing, to be still, to be lazy, to hang around, which is something good. The new perspectives around love, family, and community. The hanging man loves the fool's dance. The hanging man at 9:09 loves the high priestess twin. The 2 lovers hanging out, 2 on the twin path. At 9:10, which is the hermit and destiny, the underlying energy of the 28 of the twin flames and karma, and the 46 of gratitude and appreciation, the 8 of the crown games. The twin flames, double diamonds, and the 6 of cups with gratitude and appreciation, and the dance of the crown games of the twin flames and the inner children, the karma and gratitude in the do-si-do. Sorry about that. The twin flame double diamonds, the 6 of cups with gratitude and appreciation, in the dance of crown games of the twin flames and the inner children, of karma and gratitude, in the do-si-do of the right use of power. At 9:15, which is the hermit and the devil, or the shadow, the underlying energy was first the 33 of the invitation from that Christ unity consciousness, to the 53 of the Knight of Swords, to the 40 of the Page of Cups, to evolve. Teddy, can you please not be so noisy? The Page of Cups to evolve to the sweetheart, as Teddy is. In birthing the new, the 49 of the meet and greet, the family at sunrise, and the 48 of the void, the 30 symbol with the crown above, walking away to pause and rest and retreat, the 16 of the gold into the Holy Grail. The gold is God, old, the ancient one, into the Holy Grail, which is the hole at the Y in the road, and Grail, which is God's rail. The whole Y, or the 0 point, God's rail, which is the tunnel and the vortex. The 0 point leap is the Holy Grail. The womb heart, that spiral rose to the ancient one, to infinitum and beyond. the 22 of Buzz Lightyear, and Archangel Sandalphon, who's with you now, on the Fool's Journey with an open heart and a leap of faith, which sometimes Teddy comes up as Archangel Sandalphon, and the 7 of the Chariot, which he's also Cancer, which is the Chariot, the water for emotional well-being. I matter and need water in order to co-create. I also, the Dolphin, Saint Dolphin. Again, Teddy coming up with God's, remember God reversed is the dog, the gift of the dog. Not the ancient one, but brand new instead. The Chariot Cancer journey, playing the Fool, to help untie the knots in the twin flame electromagnetic grid. So to show anger and fear, control, or chaos, right? They don't help you. They only hinder the peace, the quiet, the love, to bring him back home, to share the lessons. So what came up here is I had the lawn guys doing my fall cleanup yesterday, and I had to just pop the screen door in the front open for a second to tell the guys out front not to do something, and Teddy ran out. And usually I go out in the morning with him and it's not a problem without a leash, but because the guys were there to play, you know, Teddy's like racing around the yard with these guys to play with, and he's so excited about it. And thank God, you know, they were very, you know, nice people, and their energy was very calm, so that was good for him. But then I freaked out because I was just seeing him running out into the street and getting hit or something like that, which was my bad because I was going into fear. So after screaming for him to come back, and of course he's not listening because I'm screaming at him, I sat down by the front door and just kind of surrendered. And I'm like, please, Teddy, come back. And so he came close enough to the one of the guys who was standing near me, and he didn't speak English. And I was trying to tell him to grab his collar, but he didn't know what I was talking about, even though I kept showing him, like, pulling my necklaces. But he did grab him for me, and I was able to get his collar and bring him back in. But again, how easily we go back into that fear state when we don't trust that the universe has our back. So remember that. At 9:26, which is the Hermit and the 26th of the Page of Wands. And by the way, after that whole scene, then it was me not forgiving myself for having lost my balance, you know, and forgotten to just stay calm, right? Because in love is what brings them back to you, not the fear or the anger. And it wasn't anger. I wasn't angry. I was scared that he would get hit by a car. So at 9:26, which is the Hermit and the Page of Wands, the 1 of the 11 in the wake-up call, to listen and take note, the truth and balance and alignment where love is all you need. And again, the first responders and how calm they are in emergency situations help teaching you how to be. The 28 of the twin flames and the Y in the road, where notice the Y, if you draw a capital Y, it is the 11, right? But the Y in the road is the two ones together and then separating, whereas the 11 is the two just running side by side in alignment with space between. To choose a path or travel both paths simultaneously. The 34 of the energetic exchange, if you push those two capital E's together, it becomes an 8 with 3 lines attached, which is that one that's equal and congruent to the other. But this comes up as 8 being equal and congruent, period. That you can keep it open-ended or contained in the crazy 8. The twin flame crazy 8 dance of containment of the twin flames, the energetic exchange with their ancestors, the compassion sent to wake and align, the Queen of Cups and the Knight of Cups love relationship, and the spiraling aqua rose gold heart of the mother, the perpetual blue-green water dueling, spirally dueling between the ancient one and Terra Earth, which are both the same letters, T-E-H-R-A and E-A-R-T-H. The heart path, the H-E-A path, idle, lazy, good, grief, hey, he, and also here is coming up as the Hawaiian version of H-E-A. Again, referencing healing of the dog as well. Time to kill, and very Hawaiian, right? To just hang out with time to kill, to hang around. H-E-A is also the happily ever after. HEA is the healing of the dog, to stay and be relaxed. The 0 point equals the daughter, the freedom train of the daughter's independence, the slave's independence, right? But enslaving ourselves by not letting go of our chains, which Elena Danaan talks about all the time from her Pleiadian connection. Calling all ancestors to bring two sweethearts together. The 35 of the wounded warrior Kundalini rises, the ego leaving the body. The delivering through deep breathing, the wind beneath your wings. Metatron's rainbow bridge. The ray in transition, this is rainbow, the ray in transition of human to 2Us. The rolling stone of the W, WEM3. The double diamond star of Bethlehem, God's house, L'chaim, to life, at 10:03, which is destiny of abundance. So here it gets even deeper, guys. At 10:04, message received, the 35 of the wounded warrior and their leap to the 46 of the loving inner children, not just one of you, but 2 of you, your own inner masculine and feminine, and the war to peace of integration, the key to authenticity of who are you today. Between arches or arcs and ancestors, the rainbow arc is releasing of the wounded warrior Kundalini to bring in the light, the flame's height. The Queen of Cups, the 38 chakra, which is the shocking of the ray, the life energy ray, the light body, activated up. And the 39 of the Knight of Cups of the masculine's emerald heart, healing or stay. The emerald is coming up as Mr. Ald, M-R-A-L-D, emerald, equals the wave, the old, the offspring, the progeny, the generation, age, and lifetime, to enchant or curse or damn or to bless. The Rald only came up as Rald de Vui, which is 8, also empty, greasy, and wheat. But also Rald de Vui is pieces of 8. So again, the emerald is co-creating pieces of the A plus L plus D equals 8, Mr. 8, the dance of the crazy 8s. The emerald order is co-creating 2 IMs, creating the R, which is the pi of Ra, red, and root, reaching out to the central sun. So here's the co-creating of the 2 IMs creating the red root ray, balanced human, reaching out to the central sun in the 8. The order is the Ord, ER, the point of origin, a beginning, the word, the dance of the closed circuit, the sledgehammer, the sequence, arrangement, the rule, the function, the reputation, to speak, front, vanguard, chief, outside, and something promised, a number value with a bit width, native to the machine. So again, all the pieces that all share something in common. The urgent or spontaneous word, point, origin, or common city. So, or community or city. So that's the definition of emerald order. So then the Queen of Cups, who's the 38, and the Knight of Cups, who's the 39, as the emerald, Mr. Ald, the wave or generation or progeny, the curse and or blessing, which just came up in the song She. So here's coming up the opposite, right, where she is all about her, who can be a blessing or a curse. And now it's Mr. Ald, who he can also be a blessing or a curse. The 38 and the 39 of the Queen of Cups and the Knight of Cups. The MM, and the Emerald, or Mr. Offspring, wave, generation, equals love. The aqua rose gold heart. The high vibe water spiraling from source to heal the root, but also heal you sit down on the root, right? The dog sits on their butt. Give me 1 second. I have to text my daughter 1 second. So I just want to make sure it's not an emergency. Okay. So high vibe water spiraling from source, the heel root, or sitting down and relaxing, right? Taking it easy. The 4 of letting go time of the Emperor, right? Who's all about control, to release in the fall, with the 8 to rise up to manifesting dreams as opposed to just survival of the 4. The leadership to the spiral dance with flame in hand, the ring and keys in the other. The 3 keys, or thrice key, the climbing up to the 54 of the Page of Swords, the Mercury energy of the lilac, higher realms and magic, the castle at 0 point, field cloud 9, the Emperor or heart dance to Mercury or word, 2 U's point of origin, the 54 of the Page of Swords, of word, the freedom train, railroading through the heart, the healing path, staying still, the 54-9 through the double diamond twin flame quantum energy, push and pull, simultaneously called compassion, calm passion, slow burn, the easy pass connection, the ability to go straight through without stopping on autopay, through the heart path via Mercury instant messenger, pieces of 8 in closed circuit, square dancing, do-si-do, at 4 right angles of the heart's chambers, the 4 hanging men with their 1 bent leg up. Okay, so the hanging man, you all know, always has 1 leg bent and looks like the number 4. If you put the number 4 with the tops all coming together, it literally comes together as the swastika heart star. So not only so when you put the 4s together, you're getting this picture right here. Where's my finger? There we go. Let me just clear that up a little bit. All right, so when you put the 4s together, you get this picture right here, which is the swastika and the star, which, remember, the swastika was, before it was Nazi, it was a very positive Hindu symbol, right? So the 4s coming together is that swastika with the star, which I just showed you also the other day, the energy of the 2 twins, like the 2 trees reflecting in the water with the horizon line, right? So here's you guys as the 2 trees on either side, reflecting like the willows. And then the star is your connection between you, which is this major connection to source. And there's distortion there as well. This is the, again, the twin, the energy of the star, of that supernova energy, of the 18 being the star, the 0 point in the middle, the 17 being the actual star, and then the 16 being the tower, right, the explosion. But it comes up as, instead of the swa and the star and 0 point, it was coming up as the z's. The zwa, the star was coming up as ZTR, which is an abbreviation for central in German. So it brings up the German thing again. Zwa is to pass a test, to hear, listen, perceive, to live, be alive, to taste, sense, and feel. That's Zwa, Z-W-A. So the 16, 17, 18 are coming up as the Zwa, the star as ZTR, and 0, which is 18. So to pass the test, so the first one of Zwa is to pass a test, to win. And don't you know it, that ZTR means to lose, to centralize or lose, to go astray without light. Whereas the passing the test and winning, obey, sense, feel, taste, and then the to lose or go astray without light, without stain, color, or without trust, vision, see, air, obeying, bed, tree bark, without expense or heaviness. How can you go to bed without your nightlight or your bed? So again, there's the opposites of to pass a test or to lose or fail, to expand or contract. It's that same energy here of Zwa and star, or Zdar, ZTR, and then the 0 point field of 18, which is the way home and away from home. All right? So very cool, the 16, 17, and 18, and showing you again another way of coming to that star energy of the two twins reflecting within their own masculine and feminine, becoming the trees reflecting, and they each have their own star, but then in coming together, creating this huge supernova star at the 0 point field, where the point is the 18, the star is the 17, and the 16 is the two twins, right? In that, the chaos of the tower, of the twin towers coming together. So very profound information right there. So now listen, if you put the 4 4s together in block style, it comes up as the swastika. But if you put the 4 4s together in the pointy 4 style, which I don't know what that's called, it becomes the pinwheel right here. And then the flower if it's in the S form. Okay? And that's more than 4. The flowering is if you add 2 4s, right? Because that's the 4 of the feminine and the 4 of the masculine come together in the 8, which is the petals of the flower. The pinwheel, remember, the hourglass is the part of the 8, the middle part that's shared between the masculine and feminine, where the crazy 8 goes between the two of them. So the outer parts, the two halves of the circle at the end, is the two halves, the splitting, where the daughter then becomes independent. So you see how it all keeps fitting together to the same spot. And also the hourglass of the shared space between, as opposed to the 8, right, where the tops are cut off, because those are the pieces in the masculine and the feminine on the side. The hourglass here is also the X, which is the 8th dance of the 2 1s of the 11, coming together an 8th each to be the X in the do-si-do of the crazy 8's dance. And by the way, I was trying to see if there was a word for 3 key or thrice key, because that came up. And the only word I found was TR with an accent V on top of it, ICEC with an accent, I forget whether it's grave or aigu, which way they go, but C going up to the right, and then I, which means 30, which is also the energy of the Om, with the crown and the accent. So then there were 12 cards, and it was 11-19, which is justice, truth, and balance, and the 19 of the sun. And then right at 11-19 to 20, as I started to write, the bird hit the window, and I went out to check. And that's when the bird had hit the window 3 times yesterday. But this one hit hard. I had to go out and check, but I didn't see anyone hurt. And that's when I found that tiny little feather. Let's see here. So, and you can check my Instagram too, but here's the little feather I found yesterday from the bird. It was tiny. It was like a nickel size, but a sweet little feather there. And so I start this page with 12 cards and Hanging Man Wisdom, the perspective of hanging out, and JC. The 19 of the dragon line, the sun, of the fire breath, right, which is ether, the dragon's breath, looking at the castle in cloud 9, with the 51 of the King of Swords of purification. And that's where I just found my wing, that pure little baby wing. And he keeps showing up, I don't know if it's a he or she, but keeps showing up with another bird, but it doesn't look like a catbird. It's striped, and I don't think it's a catbird, but they keep showing up as a couple in the backyard and the front yard. Like it's the same kind of size bird, and it could be a catbird, but it's got lots of stripes that are very different than the one that I saw, which I posted for you. You know, it was all very solid and gray with just the dark cap that the catbirds have. But I don't know if the striped bird had a cap like that. So it's really weird. It's like they're showing me the blending of, and the flame just went out. They're showing me the end of that need to be a purebred, right, so to speak, right? The coming together of different cultures or different species even, right? Because we have 2 different birds here. But he was so cute yesterday, the bird, because they were together in the bush that had just been cleaned out by the guys doing my lawn. And I was saying hi to the one I knew, and they stayed on the branch. Usually they'll fly right away, but he was definitely listening to me, or she. And that was at 11. Oh, right. It was right at 11:11 where they stopped to say hello to me under the front bushes. So fire and ice, the pyramid and the diamond, the fire in the belly of the two worlds, and the fire dragon, which are human birds, and the king of swords birds. So they're coming up as different species coming together. The 45 of endings and purging, that you are held in the moonrise. So again, after dinner with compassion. 2 birds on the plank, which comes up with Dan Winter, who's always on with Elena Denon, talking physics. So a lot of what he talks about, I have to spend a long time sorting through after the video because it's over my head. But it agrees with my downloads, and my downloads aren't over my head, right, because they come right through me. But the plank is the name of someone, a theory. So look up PLANCK in math, and it has to do with the interference of the toroidal field energy that he talks about all the time. It's like an interruption that, or an interference that doesn't cause problems, but it causes direction. But the Planck was involved with that somehow, but I forget. It's been a while since I read that stuff. But the 43 of the joy and coming together, 3 of cups, and healing. And again, healing, staying still to receive. The 55 of the red root shaman of safety and strength and power. And how, with the hands, fire and ice, purge and heal, with the shaman and big bird, and rainbow fire in your belly with wings. Transition to big bird, the capital B of transition to I, God, the chakra system of God, and the I path, the chakra system of the path, and the shock ray path. The life energy ray of the Queen of Swords matches the King of Swords, 52 and 51. And again, between 52 and 51 is the angle of the pyramids. The shaman 55 matches the dragon here with the Ace of Swords and the sun. The truth, or the word. 2 U's, ord, which is the point, origin, or word. Remember, that was defined that way, of order, right? Urgent, word. 2 U's is the word, is 2 U's, ord, which word and ord both mean word. This is 2 U's, word. The sword and the stone, the word and the tone, the earth, the third rock, from the sun. 2 U's, word and tone, 2, 1, star 1. The dragon, King of Swords, and the shaman, Queen of Swords. He protects and she heals herself. He purifies, she with the building blocks, putting the pieces of the puzzle together while he keeps the dogs away. The 47 of the 7 of Cups again, and the heart to the crown of the 4 to 7. Blessings and thanks, 4 to 7, of Thanksgiving every day. Where then the birds started screaming outside at 11:51. But there were little birds screaming. It wasn't like crows or anything. There were little birds, like really screaming about something. At 11:51, Justice and the King of Swords. Thanksgiving every day, from the heart to the crown, in the HEA root of the heart to whispering bench, row. And that's coming up as the heart dash crown is the HEA root, the heart, to the crown, CROWN, is the whispering bench, row, Jesus. Or it's like whispering benches are us with Jesus. Or Holy Communion, which is holy, which is the hole at the Y in the road, or in other words, 0 point. And the communion is the calm union. Holy Communion is 0 point to source, calm union. The 25 of the Knight of Wands and the passion and love for life of the Knight of Wands is a past connection, but it's not easy, without ease and grace, but will and grace. The stallion or stall connection. The 37 of the King of Cups, detaching from drama and needs to look up at the sunrise when the sun rises in the morning. The 41 of the 4s and the 1s. The willows of the 2 1s in willows reflect the Queen's chambers, because the Queen's chambers in the pyramids is 11 cubits with a C. But here it was coming up as 11 capital Q bits. 2 IMs amidst that star that I showed you, the 0, ZTR, ZWA, the 16, 17, 18 of the 2 eggs cracked open in a shared field of possibilities. The willows, or 2 U's, chakras align human to 2 of you in the sine wave of Sophia, the S, and the 21 of completion, whole, the indigo star of 2 stars in the to the nth degree 8th dance, the 1-1 alignment, which become then the X in the 8th dance, the whole, HOLE, and then the whole of WHOLE, 2 U's whole, alone and together as 2 and 1 indigos, divine feminine and divine masculine indigos, and 2 Gos, GOS, which means dog. 2 dog, lazy man, servant, eruption, soda, goose, or cuddliness, or God and Sophia humans, the 0 point between them, and the 42 of the 2 of cups of the whispering bench canoe on the salt river, the divine feminine being guided by the divine masculine's boat, ship, bench, whisper, but she's salty about it, meeting up at fresh water, his sassiness at 12:09, the hanging man and the hermit, at delta dawn, where salt meets fresh water and tenderizes here. And now I'm getting Elvis. Love me tender, love me true. So that's coming up, where the salt and fresh meet. So that's Mary Magdalene's baptism, is where the salt and fresh waters meet in the south of France. At 12:09, and Spirit's connecting with me, the underlying energy of the Page of Cups, and Teddy's getting impatient. The Page of Cups 40 and the King of Cups 37 shows support with an ideal course of action. The 22 of the Leap of Faith with an open heart, from tree to tree, swinging monk key. The 50 of the potential gateway of the 10 of Cups family, enchanted tree of enchanted forest. The 24 of the Queen of Wands, to be at your best self always, Andromeda and Pegasus, as she with drama, duh, and he with PE and gaseous. The 2 playing underwater in the shallow water, wild and free, at 12:21. The 23 King of Wands, you are worth it, your perspective of her, she, your boat, horizon, and ship coming in. The 10 of Cups family of the Queen of Wands and King of Wands, and the 15 of the shadow work, to make sure to catch your breath. Breathe deeply and hug a tree, and or your dog, and or Dan dog. At 46, and then Dan Winter just came up, and my brother's Dan dog as well. The 46 of the 6 of Cups, and the soulmates with gratitude and appreciation. The little girl and her unicorn, which to some may just look like a horse, but they have an invisible unicorn. And the complete rainbow around the sun or the moon. The ray in transition from human to 2 U's. Light, shadow, grown-up U's, and inner children U's. At 12:25, the hanging man and the Knight of Wands of the 11, to make a decision to dance, to make that 11 an X. The do-si-do of the 8 dance. The 25 of the Knight of Wands, to keep your dreams alive as the blue baby blows you a kiss. The 2 of elimination. So again, that can be the independent daughter, right? Saying, don't worry about me, I'm fine, and blows you a kiss from beyond. The 2 of elimination, as the core womb heart daughter gains her independence. Butterfly transformation to the purple moon with guidance. With 6 cards, 12:27, and there was a really loud train horn, so I don't know what it was with the loudness yesterday, as the birds were screaming and then the loud train horn was really loud. There were 6 cards here of love, family, community, and the lovers, and the 19 of the sunshine, to shift your energy to fire belly with the ship, with the weight of the world, to home, loving self, to heighten your vitality and brighten your colors in Color My World. Shift to shine the sun within. The 28 of the twin flame bountiful harvest, as the divine feminines prepare around the globe in the fall harvest transition. The 45 to purge and release for empowerment, and the capital M of the 2 ones and the V of co-creation, to peaceful 16 heart 4x4 pinwheel. All right, so now the 16 is coming up as the heart alignment of the 4x4 pinwheel. The number 4s, and there's 4 of them, is the 16 of the pinwheel, the ZWA, ZTR, and 0. ZWA, star, and 0. Don't, go, stop, neutralize inner truths, sudden events, epiphanies, and sexual exchange, little girl with candle and boat, 2 within. The hidden worlds, as the 35 wounded warrior culminates their vision, she sees it all. As butterflies fly away, so she could prepare the nest. At 12:35, the hanging man and the wounded warrior. The underlying energy of 9:10 begin again. The green moth learned to balance on one foot, with toe just on the line, as diver dives deep into a task, a high vibe task, destined both to test the waters. The 4 of the caterpillar opportunity to transform, but first unravel and wave back and forth in the emperor's heart of magenta and survival with compassion. The 18 of the eyes of the eagle rising above the drama, and the king of cups, and Andromeda, the oracle of 0 point, with beak on point, and there's that eagle's beak. Their beak on point, the eagle's beak curve is shading their mouth, as the 30 of union of the horseman who's heralding in the changes from Pegasus to Centaur and become more human. And notice Centaur is like center and Taurus. At 12:43, the hanging man and the coming together in the dance of the crazy eights, the X dance, the 8th dance of crown games, the crow of Christ, God aims, or ami, a friend, in the right use of power, removing the 3D crown to open the 5D crown. The 3 plus 5 equals 8 again in the dance. The wise bird O, oracle, and the horseman with triangle change. The dance of the alchemist. The masculine is the triangle of change. The feminine is the 0 of shape. At 12:46, the hanging man and the inner children of the 13 here. The dream thief trying to knock you off your game. The 53, and there's that 5 and 3 again of trying to reverse the 3 plus 5 equals 8 and trying to reverse that 5 back to 3. The Knight of Swords curious here to dive in. The 5 and 3 game. The catapult, the messenger of truth. The knight in shining armor. Amor, to be exact. 17 of the star, the eye of the needle, or intention. The divine masculine star, intent connection. The channeled focus with their blinders on. The horse, the 20/20 perspective. The clear sight, like on a gun, with sights on you. The 39 Knight of Cups in Metox, preparing the veil for the bride. The 15 of the shadow, kicking up some dirt to create a vortex, desert storm. The 50 of the spirit of the river and moving to adventure with emotional fulfillment. The 5 of closing the door with change, freedom to alter your path and expand. At 12:51, the hanging man, king of swords, and his purity, with the 59 of the wailing tree and the war within, the inner war reconciliation, as the sky dancers surrender to go within, to enter the struggling tree. 2 by 2s, 42, the netcaster and the watchers have set the stage. Well, she says she did it all, as he just sat there and watched the 2 of Cups preparations come to fruition as totem, Tyon, the tiger lioness connection, who find peace in piggyback connection, the rainbow connection of Kermit and Miss Piggy, the tiger and lioness whose colors are natural and blend, finding peace as pillar, as 2 as 1, the 27 inspired by heart home of compassion, as benefactors of grace and generosity, of totem and cuddle buddies, watching the show, whether in the desert or the abundant mushroom, peace away or at mom's, the vertical or horizontal 2 by 2, and 8 more pieces to go, the 14 of the drifter channeling down the canal, patient and balanced, the 51 king of swords with stars in the sky, Sophia's KY, with limitless possibility in the middle of the bridge, meditating. The 37 King of Cups and his magician's sword with confidence in his magic, and the bridge of stone or Stonehenge, the King of Swords here and the King of Cups, the star and the magician, the sword and the stone, the word and the tone, 2, 1. The stars equals the path of ours in the sky, Sophia's energy at 0 point. The 31 of the golden heart in his hand, as the universe is your partner. The 64 of the woodwives who then adapt, the balls of the trunk, and the bliss of the dance, with space between where she is more bendable than he. The 32 of 104, the magician and the emperor, the jeweled web, the journey of connectivity, and remember the fours, the 4 fours of the heart, of lights. That's the jeweled web is the journey of connectivity of lights. It's because then when you're all lit up, you can now be seen from the ETs out there. The 16 of sudden need to replenish, the empty, which is the M and the T. The mount, the M of co-creation and the T of time out. The well of mount, vanishing mirror, 58, which is the 4 of swords. The 5D connection in ego sublimation, smashing particles together at 105, which is the magician and the hierophant. 16 and 58 equals 74, the 6 of pentacles, sharing in a balanced way, back and forth until it all becomes a blur. The Nova Star 0 point, 16, 17, 18 equals 51, plus 1 is the sun. The King of Swords and his sunshine, 52, Queen of Swords. In the 4 swords, honeymoon chambers, sweet daughter heart, the core womb heart to the moon and back, doing core grid work. Atlanta is a peach state of mind at 111, which is the magician and alignment, which my daughter is in Atlanta right now trying to call me while I'm doing your video. So I'm going to break to come right back so I can call my daughter, and I'll come back with a 7-deck read on the table. So pick your one of 3. If you haven't watched, watch all 3 of them, I would advise. And rise and be love. I'll see you in a minute, guys.